Hi, I'm Aloni Bhatt, and welcome to Unicorn Diaries, presented by ET Catalyse. Now, this is the show where we talk to founders, CEOs, CMOs of unicorns that have changed the way we do things, the way we think of products and services. Now, today's show is pretty special. It's a rare founder who sowed the seed of not one, but two unicorns. And I have with me just one such. Way back in 1998, Beerud Sheth co-founded Elance, an online service for freelance work, which was later rebranded to Upwork after a merger. In 2007, he founded SMS Gupshup, a messaging platform that enabled users to join groups of their interests and get updates through phone SMS. Gupshup, as it is called now, has evolved to a conversational engagement platform that helps businesses engage with customers across multiple messaging channels like WhatsApp, Instagram, Viber, SMS, voice for commerce, marketing, and support. It entered the fabled Unicorn Club in 2021 after raising $100 million from Tiger Global at a valuation of $1.4 billion. I'm very pleased to welcome Beerud Sheth, co-founder and CEO of Gupshup, which he has been building for 15 years. He's been a trader on Wall Street. He's also an alumnus of IIT Bombay and MIT. Beerud, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Maloney. Thanks for having me here.
So you've been building and growing Gupshup, for the last 15 years, and you've really grown in the space of conversation commerce in the past few years. So can you simplify what is conversational commerce, and also tell us a little bit about your journey, especially the market opportunities that you identified in the space that led you to scale?
Sure. I think, I think at its, leaving aside buzzwords, right? I think conversational commerce is simply the ability for consumers to chat with businesses like they would chat with family and friends, right? So today, if you want to chat with a friend, you just send them a WhatsApp message and they reply and you kind of go back and forth. Well, wouldn't it be nice if you could do that with your favorite store or with your bank or with the local pharmacy and say, hey, what's my account balance? Can I transfer some money? I want to buy this. Do you have a red dress between 1,000 and 2,000 rupees that you can recommend as a gift? And on, right? And if you can just do that just as easily and simply without having to download an app, without having to visit a website, but really just through chat, I mean, that's an incredibly convenient, simple, and powerful opportunity, right? So now it sounds very simple, but it's very hard to execute on. But that's the idea, that's the vision, to make it really simple. Because if you think about it, in emerging markets in India, almost every consumer and every business, we are already on these messaging apps, on WhatsApp and so on. So why not actually conduct business on it in a systematic way? So that's the big idea. Now, you asked about the journey. How did we come to this and why is this such a big idea, right? So I think we've, right from the early days, right? So the company got started in the mid 2000s. And at that time, the mobile revolution was happening. Billions of new users came online or became digital for the first time through mobile devices, right? They weren't using the web, the desktop web before. They just came on, digital through the mobile phone. And we realized that the lowest common denominator across all of these phones was messaging. At that time, it was just SMS. Later on with smartphones, it was WhatsApp, maybe Viber, maybe Instagram, maybe other messaging apps, right? So really, we saw the power of messaging as the way to reach many more users. And in the early days, we were enabling businesses to send SMS messages. So all the messages that you get on your phone, whether it's your OTP, transaction alert, a confirmation, a booking flight confirmation, and so on. That's what we enable. We are the platform that businesses, enterprises use to send those messages. But more recently, the messaging technology itself has evolved to WhatsApp. They opened up, some rich capabilities that allow businesses to now, do marketing, do commerce, and do customer support through just a simple conversational experience, right? And I think it's a real game changer.
So, you spoke of WhatsApp. What are the other popular platforms that have emerged, which are changing this conversational marketing in commerce?
Sure. I think, well, WhatsApp is very, very popular, but before that, SMS was very commonplace. These days, RCS is a new channel as well that, the telcos and Google are launching. Instagram is emerging as a popular messaging channel as well. And then Gupshup itself, we've launched a proprietary channel that we call GIP, with just short for Gupshup IP, right? So GIP messaging channel. I think there are many others, Viber, Telegram, and so on. You can go through that. But I think a lot of the traffic, it tends to be concentrated. I think some channels have more advanced capabilities. WhatsApp is one of those. The others are adding capabilities. And I expect, ultimately businesses have to reach out to all their customers, right? Whether they are on WhatsApp or on Instagram or other channels. So ultimately, our platform makes it easy for them to build one experience and then make it available on any channel to meet the user on their terms, wherever they are.
So from your vantage, what is the scope or potential of conversational commerce in the Indian market?
Oh, I think it's massive. And let me explain, right? What's happening right now with conversational experiences is analogous to what happened with the web in the US or in the developed markets in the mid 90s, right? Okay. When the web came about, every business, every brand realized that they have to have a digital storefront, right? They have to have a presence because that's where consumers were. That's where they were starting to shop and spend more and more time. And today, with hindsight, right, many years later, we know that there are millions of websites out there. Virtually every business and brand has it in almost exactly the same way. Now that phenomenon didn't happen as much in India and other emerging markets because, like we discussed, the desktop web was not as common. India and other countries leapfrogged to mobile phones and then to smartphones, right? And everything we do is on smartphones fundamentally. It's a mobile first ecosystem, right? So in this ecosystem, the model of the web framework didn't work. Maybe the next best thing was a mobile app, right? So many businesses build mobile apps, but as you know, there are millions of mobile apps, most, people don't like to download too many apps on their phone, right? So you or I probably have 100, maybe 200 apps on our device, not more than that, right? But now with these conversational experiences, you're going to have millions of businesses building these experiences, and the consumer doesn't have to download any one of them to chat with them, right? So it is as powerful. So what the web did to the big screen web, conversational experience is doing to the mobile screen, the small screen, right? And I think a few years from now, virtually every business, every brand is going to have these conversational experiences, and we are all going to be simply, sending a message, placing an order, doing a transaction, paying the bill, checking the balance, whatever it is, just through the messaging experiences, right?
So it is already triggering a shift in consumer behavior. And, from what you're saying, also changing the game of commerce itself.
Exactly right. See, I think what happens is, consumers are starting to experience this with a few businesses. And once they see how convenient and easy and comfortable it is, the volumes are growing, the usage is growing, and therefore more enterprises and businesses start doing that, right? So today, there are businesses in the tens of thousands that have adopted these technologies. I see that getting into the hundreds of thousands and then the millions as well over the next few years, right? So that shift is already happening, and once it reaches a tipping point of sorts, then then consumers expect it, right? Why are you asking me to download an app? Why do I have to go to the website? Why can't you just make it all available in the most convenient place? I mean, in any case, we spend so much time on WhatsApp. We look at it 50 times a day, right? I mean, this is how I chat with my friends and family. Why can't I chat with businesses in the same way and just order pizza Or, imagine being able to order food by saying, oh, I'm hungry, send me the usual. And they know who you are, they know what you like, they know where you live, they know what your wallet is. That's it. I mean, it's as if, think about it, right? It's as if every business now provides a personal assistant, like a valet or a butler, and or a relationship manager at a bank, right? They just give you this, and it's highly personalized. They know your preferences, they know your interests, they know what you like, they know who you are. So you're not, it's not like calling into the call center and spending 5 minutes verifying and authenticating and explaining to them who you are, right? It knows, it already knows, and you just say, look, can you send me the pizza, and it just arrives.
At one level, it's very scary. Like they know everything that they need to know about you, and it's a little freaky at some level.
Well, I mean, look, your friends know you very well. Your family members know you. Depending in business, if you have an assistant, they know you very well. Your bank relationship manager's job is to know you. At your favorite store or your favorite restaurant, right? I mean, usually they know you, right? And they know what you like and say, hey, here's something new for you. So look, we are all used to it. And by the way, it's not scary. In fact, we like it. I mean, those are the places we frequent because they know you. So, just think of it as an extension of that.
Beerud, tell me something. Is the underlying game changer then AI, machine learning? And, how do you see the role of that kind of evolving to engage customers even more deeply as we go along?
Exactly right. So if you think about it, I mean, human conversation, I mean, even this chat we are having, it sounds simple, but it's very hard to achieve for a computer, right? I mean, actually, let's start with this, right? So conversation, so traditional interactions between humans and computers, right? Whether it was through a desktop application, whether it was through a website or a mobile app, they all force humans to behave like computers, right? You click on a button, you click on a screen or a tab, and something happens. But with conversational experiences, they force computers to behave like humans, right? Now, computers have to chat in a conversational way so that a human is understand. And that's great because this is sort of human-centered design, right? It's sort of humans know how to chat, right? Since we have been toddlers, since babies, right? We know we have conversations. That's how we interface with each other. That's how we interface with the world. Why not with computers too, right? So firstly, the good thing is this is great for humans. But then it imposes an extra challenge or a burden on computers to get smart, to be able to have human conversation. And it's not, and that's where AI comes in, right? AI technology is emerging to enable natural language conversation through software, right? So software is getting smarter and better. You develop these AI models, you train them on millions of data samples, and it starts to understand language. And it's already good enough. AI capability is, if you've used Alexa or if you've used even on mobile phone, most of them have these speak voice agents or even chat agents and so on. So the technology is good enough where certainly within limited domains like say banking or retail or pharmacy and so on.
I want to speak of D2C commerce, which is becoming very popular, where brands are establishing, multiple channels to connect with their customers. So, can you explain to us how conversational commerce can help a D2C business scale?
Yeah, so, D2C is about direct to customer, right? I mean, every brand is trying to go directly to the customer rather than selling through a marketplace or selling through somebody else's retail store or some online marketplace, right? And when a brand goes direct to the customer, it's both. There are obviously pros and cons, right? The good thing is now you have a direct relationship with the customer. You know what they like, you know what they are asking for, what they want, and you're engaging with them in a very direct way. The flip side of it is, you have to do all the work yourself that perhaps the retailer or the e-commerce marketplace would have done for you. You have to acquire customers, you have to retain them, you have to engage them, and so on and so forth, right? So this is where conversational engagement comes in, right? Which is it makes all of this easy. It makes it possible. It levels the playing field. It enables even small D2C brands, right, to be able to have the capability that a large retailer or a large e-commerce marketplace would have. So they can engage in personalized conversations, right? So for example, at Gupshup, our tagline is one-on-one with everyone, right? The idea is you have one-on-one personalized conversations with your customer, but you do it in scale with all your customers, right? And that's what we want, that's what conversational engagement enables. It makes it easy to be personalized and customized and offer a delightful experience.
Tell us a little bit about how do you go about evangelizing brand Gupshup, to your and your business to your potential customers.
Yeah, I think well, the first thing I think is good products and good business end up having good brands, right? It's not the other way around. I mean, if you had a good brand but not a good business, I mean, that's not going to stay a good brand very long. It may be catchy, it may be clever, but it doesn't last, right? So firstly, to make a good brand, you got to start at your core with what you're building, what you're delivering, what you're offering. And we invest a lot of energy in building great products, innovative features, delivering that at good value to enterprises and supporting them, right? Anyway, so I think that's the foundation. Without that, you have nothing. But then above that, right, I think we try to highlight the value proposition, like why conversations, what's special about it, what's useful about it, and so on, right? Because it's such a, like I said, it's such a big, ambitious vision, right? To say that virtually every business or brand in the emerging markets is going to build conversational experiences. So, you have to explain it in simple terms to both businesses, both large and small, right? And especially in mid-market and small businesses, everyone's too busy. Everyone's running hard. They're trying to do different things. So how do you explain to a restaurant owner in the 30 seconds that they have that saying, oh, this is going to drive more business to you, more customers, increase the velocity of your orders and make it more successful overall, right? So I think that's what we try to convey in the brand. And then we evangelize through, of course, there's some awareness activities, but certainly some brand campaigns and so on. But I think the most important thing really is if you have a good service and happy customers, then the word of mouth, continues to substitute.
I want to now talk about, you as an entrepreneur and as a veteran of two successful unicorns. How do you see this trend of rising unicorns in India? And how do you see this evolution of entrepreneurship? When you compare it to, say, entrepreneurs, 10, 20 years earlier.
Oh, I think it's an exciting trend in India now. As I'm based in Silicon Valley. I'm based in the Bay Area, but I've been doing business both there and in India with Gupshup. Elance was all in the Valley. And I think it's really exciting to see the trajectory of the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. And over the last year, there were maybe 100 unicorns, right? So the exciting thing is even investors are now, investing a lot of resources and money into the ecosystem, which has a lot of, trickle down effects, right? Because all these companies, they hire more people, more engineers, there's more technology. I mean, I think there's sort of a grand digitization project of India, right? India is just getting digitized, and the baseline is so low that there's so much room to grow, right? So anybody who provides these sort of capabilities will be quite successful. So I think as an entrepreneur, it's very gratifying to see, right? But to balance it out a little bit, it's still early in some ways, right? I think, of course, there are always breathless headlines around unicorn valuations, but that does not appreciate the fact that valuations can go down, not just up, in a tough market like right now. The stock market is very volatile. where funding can dry up. If you can't survive, then some of these companies can even fail. There's no guarantees in business that once a unicorn, forever a unicorn. It's not a club that you can't be kicked out of, right? You got to work hard to stay in there. So I think in the Indian ecosystem, it's still not enough maturity, not enough depth of experience. I think when you think about Silicon Valley, you have serial entrepreneurs, repeat entrepreneurs. You also have a lot of advisors and mentors who themselves have had multiple, decades of experience in entrepreneurship. And the Indian ecosystem is catching up. I'm very optimistic. I think it has come a long way. Also, the India-US corridor. I mean, in Silicon Valley, as you know, there's a lot of Indians as well. So it's very closely connected, right? And but what happens is some of it, you can't read about it. You have to experience it, right? These are sort of experiential things that. So I think we are going to have a few. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride where you're going to have many successes, some failures, but we learn from it, a lot of battle scars and shared experiences. But as it matures, I mean, I'm very optimistic about the potential of, in India.
So Beerud, now we have rapid fire questions for you. Okay. So the answers to these questions have to be short and sharp, but our questions can be long and meandering. So.
All right.
So the first one is coming at you, which is, what is the one thing that you missed about working on Wall Street?
The high-paced, intense activity, the adrenaline, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I gave you that answer. So I don't know if that counts. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So what is the best piece of advice you have received in your career?
I think focus on what you can control. Right.
That's good advice for everyone, actually. Focus on what you can control. All right. And what is the one skill that you would advise entrepreneurs of today to have or to develop?
Well, on the technical skills is one. And if I can add one more, grit, perseverance.
Not patience? Don't rush for that. Yeah.
Actually, I think entrepreneurs need to be impatient. You want to achieve results. You want to achieve them quickly. Right. But you have to have the grit and perseverance. When it doesn't happen, you don't give up. You keep going.
All right. Beerud Sheth, thank you so very much for your time and for all your thoughts and joining us today. We wish you all the very best.
Thanks, Maloney. Thanks for having me here.